All right, I know that you're addicted to your cell phone, right? Do you text and walk at the same time?
I have been known to do that, yes. I think we all
because,
have.
you know, it is getting attention, and the police department, they're looking at it right now because there's concern, you know, that you really cause a danger to somebody else. It's a danger to yourself. But listen, we have a former detective in the house.
Bo Dietl is joining us.
He's from Bo Dietl.
Exactly, from Bo Dietl Associates. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, I didn't realize you guys are good friends.
I didn't even know you were coming.
I could talk about murder or I could talk about health. Come on now. And all I got to say, Doctor, if you smell what I'm smelling that's cooking over there, those ribs, I'd rather die and eat those ribs because that smells so beautiful.
I know, dinosaur barbecue was cooking up something great.
Forget about health.
We figured, you know, Dr. Ross is always so healthy. He's eating apples and nuts. We're going to have barbecued ribs for him today.
I picked peaches.
You can take your peaches. You can take your plums. Give me some of those ribs over there.
These were hand-picked, though, Bo.
Hey, all I could say is, you know what? Before we talk about texting, there's a lot of people, you know, call my friend there, Christy Heavy and all that, right? The fact is, and you know yourself, we talked about this, a lot of people inserted Tate a lot of pasta and bread. And what does that turn into? That turns into sugar. And what does sugar turn into, Doc? Proteins that stick on the blood, not just cholesterol. Am I correct, Doc?
You're absolutely right. The big issue with obesity in America is sugar. Our big problem is not fat. And we are going to talk about fat content when I go over there and give him a little bit of a hard time about the barbecue.
I hope not, because I want to have a rib.
We're going to eat some of it, too.
Okay.
But sugar's the big problem. Anyway, talk to me a little bit about texting. What do you think? How practical is this really? I'm walking down the street. I'm sending a quick message to meet someone, which we all do.
Yeah.
Is that really a criminal offense?
Well, I don't think it ever should be a criminal offense. But the fact of the matter, if your attention is on your texting and you're walking across the street, and whether you have the green light or not, you got to always remember, you know, sometimes that driver doesn't realize. And even when I was taking somebody for driving lessons once, blown right through a light, and it was a red light, and they didn't realize they didn't see the light. So you got to be aware of your surroundings. Also, you're texting, you can have a culprit there that could turn out to be someone looking at your wallet, going to rob you. And just if your attention is not around your surroundings, this is a focus of someone that may want to rob your little Petit, Felipe watch and all something like that, and they're digging on you, and you're not paying attention.
And people like your phones too.
Yeah, I mean, look let's face it. You got Blackberries, and you got phones that are worth a lot of iPhones, and that iPhone right away, that person realizes that's a couple $100 there. Boom, one shot, and the next thing is you're not texting anymore. You're laying on the ground.
So, but again, I understand the rational reasons you don't want to do it, but again, should it be made a misdemeanor? How do you enforce that?
Right.
You know what? We're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about people's rights, and one of the big things is everybody was against, Doc. Everybody was against these cameras around New York City. I'm just going into it real fast because of human liberal. What's that called?
The ACLU.
Yeah, everybody's worried about it. But you know what?
It's bad when I start ending his sentences.
But you want to know something? The reality is.
Me.
I know, but the reality is, Doc, if these cameras are everywhere, omnipresence everywhere, and they're deterring crime, and they're stopping crime, and you're catching people, if you're not doing anything wrong, what's the problem with a camera? Look at that little boy in Brooklyn. I wish we would have reacted a little faster with that. But just imagine cameras. If you're not doing harm, you're not on the bad side of town, Doc, you don't have to worry about cameras.
Yeah, all right, so we got that ring of steel. It is expanding
around
Ground Zero.
That's a great thing. My compliments to Commissioner Kelly again. I love cameras everywhere because I want to know who's out there and who's trying to hurt us, and criminals out there, not just terrorists, criminals that are out there, everyday crime. Hey, look, will these cameras help us crack down? Let's crack it, take them, and let's put them in jail.
Yeah, you know, really, Greg Kelly's taking
I know, I got no punching bag here. I got no punching bag with Gregitation over here with Doc.
All right, listen, let's get serious. The woman who is the housekeeper from the Sofitel Hotel, who's accusing DSK
Miss Diallo.
Sexually assaulting her. She has been going public the last few days.
This is a plane out of control now. We all know one thing: money talks. When they hired all those lawyers and detectives on the side of the fellow from France there, the defendant, because he still is a defendant, when they hired all these investigators, they went through her life, turned it upside down. Any negatives in her life were produced. They then turned it over to the DA's office. It was a smart-run case. In reality, if it was Joe Schmo or somebody from East Harlem, that guy would still be in jail. With that said, the lawyers there, I think, really are dropping the ball. She's making contradicting statements back and forth. All these statements that they're making, if it ever did go to trial, all those little sniglet cliplets, what do they call those things? Those things.
Yes.
All those things would be used in the prosecution or the defense. The defense will say, well, you said this on this date. You said that. What is the truth?
Well, Bo, I'm going to just share a crazy rumor that I heard just this week, that maybe he was set up. Maybe she was paid to do this. Is there any possible truth to that?
Well, that's the first time I heard it, and I'm on the top, in the middle, and underneath, and I think it would have surfactated a long time ago if that was a setup, and that would have been part of the defense. That would have been part of the defense to make that allegation, leak it to the press, and say this was a setup because he's running for president. Now you have another negative in people's minds. I haven't heard that yet, but the problem I have with it is the changing story. And let's face it, Rosanna, you and I, we go out on a date, say we're single and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden I pushed a little bit, and then you said, Bo, stop. And I said, come on, honey, we're out all night. You love me up, I love you up. And then you say, I'm going to the police. Even if nothing happened, you could say it happened, and they'll lock me up. That's the preponderance evidence. She said, he said. It's a law, but sometimes it works negatively also.
Right, absolutely. Bo, do me a favor. Get me that letter that I have right there.
Okay.
Because Elaine Picone wrote me a letter, and Greg, saying, just finished watching the segment with Beau. Your show made my morning. Beau is a fun guy to be around.
Well, all I know is...
Thank you, Elaine Picone.
Dr. Oz, a lot of people don't realize, one of the best heart surgeons in the world. He's not just no fluffitacious TV guy. He's the real deal. And we talk all the time, but I just don't like one thing. He's so skinny, and, I'm a little pugitacious here. And you know what? It all doesn't matter with your intake. It also matters with a little gene
genetics.
things.
The genetics.
There's no question, Dr. Dietl, that is the correct response. However, if you have too many of those barbecues next door, which I'm sure you'll be here for.
I'd rather live a life shorter and eat those barbecue ribs than live a life longer
You're
and never to smell
starting to sound like Greg Kelly. Wait a second.
Goodness.
He's on the phone right now. Hello, Greg.
That's Lloyd, Mr. Kelly's chief steward. Hold up, Mr. Kelly, please.
Greg, where are you? Are you building sandcastles right now?
Thanks, Lloyd. Hey, what's up? Hi.
Greg, we got a picture of you. It looks like you're in Coney Island there. Where are you?
Well, a couple of things first. When you think about it, they say Dr. Oz is the next Oprah. And the next Oprah is substituting for me. Logical conclusion would be that I am bigger than Oprah.
Oh, I
so
guess
I am living a lifestyle accordingly.
Well, we have a great picture of you on the beach. We're just wondering where you might be.
Well, I'm not watching the television. I can't see what image that you have. I never watch the television unless I'm on it. And from what my staff is telling me, Dr. Oz is doing an adequate job filling tremendously big shoes.
Hey, Greg, it's Beau. Are you drinking already? Are you drinking?
Dr. Oz, I personally apologize that you have to endure that savage beast. Bo
Greg, you're
Dietl
missing the ribs. Greg, you're missing the ribs here.
Strange dialect that he speaks.
Listen, Greg, I hope you can relax on your vacation because you never really take time off. In fact, I kind of like it when I'm off and you're working. I'm not so sure about this setup today, although I do like having Dr. Oz and Beau here.
Well, trust me, I'm taking my new status as a celebrity, a bona fide celebrity, bigger than Oprah, quite seriously. I am on actually, I was just told that the boat I am on is not a yacht. It is too big. It actually qualifies as a supercarrier.
Oh, my goodness.
Listen,
Bill Clinton will be coming over later.
Again.
Listen, we have a real picture of you on the beach, and we know that you're not far away. You like to keep things real.
What picture are you working at? I have no idea. No, this is the new Greg Kelly. I'm taking it to the next level. I'm hanging out with all the right people at all the right places. We're going to eat special celebrity food. I'm coming back with a new attitude. And Dr. Oz, thank you very much. I'm just kidding. It's amazing. Dr. Oz can sit on the couch and talk, but he can also operate. He can also perform open heart surgery. Just an amazing guy.
It's a very special honor to be in your seat, Greg, and I appreciate your yielding it for the day for me.
All right, but you have to endure Rosanna Scotto. Now, for years, through therapy and counseling, I've been able to adjust. But you've just been thrown in.
He seems to be doing all right.
I know you probably feel okay, but I think you should do some. You should take it very slow when you come off that set. You may need some help.
He's brought a lot of medication, and we're all doing fine today.
All right. No, Rosanna, miss you guys. Take care, all right? Have a great one.
Hey, Greg, have a great vacation.
I'll see you, Greg. Have another drink, Greg.
Be nice, Bo. All right, listen. Coming up, we have more with the doctor.
Plus, Lindsay Lohan's attempt to get healthy. TMZ tells us what she's doing to turn her life around.